How to get enough sleep and find the motivation to get up early. How to get enough sleep and find the motivation to get up early. In order to get up easily in the morning, you need to go to bed earlier. But if it were that simple, this article would end there. To get up in the morning, you need motivation. Let's break down how sleep affects how you feel, how you look, and how many calories you consume. How to motivate yourself to go to bed before midnight and understand the causes of impotence and bad moods. How to fall asleep more easily and not toss and turn when you're not used to it. How to get out of bed early and not rely on 10 more minutes. Why go to bed before midnight? So you don't cheat your body. There is an area in the hypothalamus, part of the brain, that is responsible for circadian rhythms. The suprachiasmatic nucleus sees light on the retina and thinks that the day is not over and to go to rest early. No rest means no melatonin, but there is the rising hormone ghrelin. It makes us feel hungry even if our stomachs are still full. The desire to open the fridge after 11 p.m. is caused by ghrelin, not real hunger. So you don't eat too much. If you go to bed later than 11 p.m., then it will be more difficult to get up in the morning, and during the day you will want to eat more. Lack of sleep stimulates higher levels of cortisol, which is responsible for stress. As a result, the body is forced to eat extra and often unnecessary calories as a result of stress. Hence the dissatisfaction with yourself and the impotence to take the will in your hands. If you sleep less than 7 to 8 hours, in the morning the hormone leptin, which is a catalyst for ghrelin, is lowered. Because of this, person has an acute feeling of hunger all day long. So it turns out that lack of sleep wants to finish eating, and not getting enough sleep, a person eats an extra 200 to 500 kilocalories for the day. If the history of sleep deprivation is constant, then leptin is always lowered. The person either eats more or restricts himself, but is hungry, frowning, and irritable. How to go to sleep easier. Don't take a shower before going to bed. A warm bath is thought to relax, and after a water session it makes you drowsy. This works due to the change in temperature. After steaming in the bath, the body cools down and gets ready for bedtime. However, for some people the warm water has the opposite effect. There are people who after an evening shower are too awake and turn in bed for a long time. If this is about you, you can take a shower as soon as you get home, and be sure that you will not go anywhere else today. Change into your home clothes and go to bed when the moment comes. At most, brush your teeth before going to bed. Sleep in a cool room. A person needs the hormone melatonin to fall asleep faster. Not only does it need complete darkness, but also a cool room to start producing it. The body temperature drops faster, which leads to increased production of the hormone. In addition, sleeping in the cool is good for the figure. There is white fat and brown fat in the body. The first one is deposited on the belly, hips and hands. It is usually not welcome and tends to burn. And there is not much brown fat. It is located near the collarbones, the spine, and some internal organs. But it is the one that warms and metabolizes fatty acids from the blood. When they run out, the acids are metabolized from the white fat. This only happens when a person is motionless and sleeping in the cool. Don't engage in vigorous exercise before bedtime. Not all workouts are exhausting to the point of fatigue. Some people, even an evening run is invigorating rather than soothing. To avoid tossing and turning in bed, exercise long before bedtime, and do not choose powerlifting in the evening. How to find motivation to get up in the morning. Finish work at an interesting place. Remember, when you have a vacation and the plane to the sea leaves at 8 in the morning, you have to get up early, but it's easier than getting up for work. The anticipation of something nice is motivating. The hardest part is getting out of bed, and then the fun begins. It's hard to compare work to the sea, but every activity has interesting things to do and not so interesting things to do. Try to end the workday with an interesting process so that it's easier to get into work in the morning. Cook yourself a delicious breakfast beforehand. Or prepare products for it, if breakfast is meant to be served fresh. You won't always have the energy or motivation to cook something you love or unusual in the morning from scratch. And if the food is prepared in advance, the anticipation is there. Lying in bed, it's nice to think of a delicious casserole with berries or red fish sandwiches waiting for you, as shown in the beautiful breakfast photos of happy people. Plan at least one interesting event for the day. Notice what gives you energy and a sense of happiness. Maybe it's yoga in a beautiful space, meeting with friends, a new coffee shop, or a concert. Spice up your workday with events, and each day will be as much fun to look forward to as Friday. Fill the first hour of waking up with something inspiring. Devoting an hour to yourself, as they write in books about waking up early, is not enough. It's important to devote that time to an activity you really look forward to in the morning. Some people like the idea of meditation, but are uncompromisingly asleep immediately upon awakening. Then it's better to postpone the activity to a more appropriate time. Someone can study languages, but it's hard to turn the brain on so immediately. Try and choose the right activity for your morning. Walk the dog while the streets are not yet filled with rushing people. Do yoga. Allocate this time for a facial massage. Make a mask or wash your curly hair with a special curly method to style it beautifully. The main thing is not to allocate the morning time to something destructive. An extra hour of watching TV shows will not make you happier during the day. And beautiful styling and even order in the room will lift your spirits. Not everyone needs to get up early. Some people are quite sufficient for 24 hours a day, and there is no feeling of brokenness and dissatisfaction with themselves when the clock is 11 in the morning. But if you have read this text to the end, you probably have a desire to get up in the morning and start the day with pleasant moments. Hopefully, the above methods will help you sleep better and wake up easier. After all, no cosmetics can replace quality sleep.